morning, everyone, team. Welcome back to the session. So let's start the session, team. Meanwhile, others can join. So already we waited for more 5 minutes. So first two sessions, we had the demos team. And then yesterday, I started with the topic of security administration in the system. Okay. The very first topic, when we're going for an implementation, I told you that we have to start with our security administration team. Why the security administration? We have to talk first, that I told you. First of all, we should know how the user account or user accounts are getting created in the system. Like once we get into the project, once client given us the application, how the accounts or the access to the application to our team will get created in the system. To have that understanding in mind, I have explained, I'm trying to explain you the concept of user account management yesterday team. So in the security administration, what are the two concepts we have? I told you, we have user account management and we have role management, right team? The entire security in the Fusion application is working on a concept of what team? Roles-based access control. So as I told you, for each module or for each functional area, Oracle standardly delivers certain roles in the system. So whenever we hiring the employee or whenever we creating the new user account in the system, we are adding the roles to that particular user team. So whatever the roles that we are adding to the user account, accordingly, the access is getting provisioned to that user. That is what we have seen in the yesterday session team. And that too, we started with the creation of implementation users in the manual way, how to define the user accounts in the system. Not only for implementation users, I told you, even for the employees also. At any point of time, if system not generating the user account automatically due to any kind of data discrepancies team, okay, we can able to manually create the user accounts. That what we have seen yesterday. Let us continue the topic that which we have started yesterday team. So here we have to go to security console from tools, right? Under tools, where we should go in order to have the access to user accounts, to create the new user account or edit the new users in the system. Tools and then security console, correct? Come to the sub-functional area of security console. And here you can come to the users and you can able to search for your users. So yesterday I created a user with the name of Kumar.TrioTech. This is the guy. This is the account which I created yesterday team. So here team, I want to talk about one important concept within the concept of user account management team. What is that? If you could observe yesterday team, when we creating the new user account in the system, okay, there is something here called user category coming up to me. And by default, we have only one option called default. And when I'm defining my user account, let's say if I give some first name dot last name, some TrioTech, something like Satish. First name and last name, I have passed team. The moment I keep my cursor on my username, see team, what happened? What happened? First name dot last name. The combination automatically taking up as first name dot last name. Why it is happening? From where this rule configured in the system, or not even that one team. Let's say I'm giving the password. Once I'm giving the password team, the password complexity is there. So I'm keeping everyone in mute. Sorry for the disturbance. Let me keep everyone in mute. Okay. Yeah. So when I'm creating a new user account team, the moment I pass first name and last name, automatically the combination coming up with first name dot last name. Who told that system should take that combination? My client is telling, Kumar, I don't want that combination. The user accounts in my organization should be email IDs of their employees. I don't want first name dot last name. That is one point. Or when I am configuring the password, See the password policy coming up. Simple, at least 8 characters and 1 number. Then my client is telling, Kumar, in my organization, I want something like 8 characters, 3 numbers, two special characters, 1 uppercase, 2 lowercase, like that. Some combination he is expecting. But by default in the system, some simple password policy coming, at least 8 characters and 1 number. Or yesterday when I create a user account team, once the user got created, some password expiration date triggered to me. See, password expiration date, July 26th. Why 90 days from yesterday, the password expiration date trigger? Who configured these all things? Username generation rule, password policy, or password expiration date. Who told that in the system? Who configured it? That all coming from this user category team. So whenever we configuring the new user account in the system, from this user category, we are creating the new user under this particular category team. So in this user category level, you can configure all that rules and regulations related to your user account management team, where you will be creating all of them in the user category. There is something called user category. In this area, we are defining all that rules team. So how you can customize this category? When you working in your client's application team in real time, if you start working in your client's application, by default, this default category will be available like this in the user category team, where we can configure this category team. On the left hand side only team, behind the users, you have something here called user categories. If you could see, whatever that you are seeing in the default, that you will see in the user category. What I will do is, let me keep this screen like this. I will duplicate the window. As it is a cloud-based application team, simultaneously also you can work on the application. So I'm opening my application in one more window. Let it be like this. I will open in one more window and I will go to user category in the system. So again, I'm going to tools. Okay. I'm going to tools, then security console. Okay. And then team here under users, you have something called user categories. Go to user category team. So once you come to user category, here you have something called default. This is the option which you are seeing here team. When you creating the new user account team, user category default. This option is coming from this user categories. Okay, come to this user categories team, click on this one, the default category, right? Then you will land upon that default user category detail section team. So here you can see 4 sections. First one is details. We are on currently that screen. Next, password policy. Next, notification, users. So now you can come to this default user category team detail section and click on edit. Click on edit. So here you can see team username generation rule. This is the default category team, my category that which I have in the system default. Under this, if you can see username generation rule, and currently what it was set up here team, first name dot last name. That is the reason whenever I'm creating a new user account in the system in this particular category of default, the moment I pass first name and last name, automatically that combination taking up team, first name dot last name, because currently in this application, the username generation rule kept with that option team. We have other couple of options also to choose. See, first name dot last name, email, first letter of the first name and last name, and person or party user, party number. What are these things team? If I keep email, whenever I'm creating the user account team, the email will become mandatory. The asterisk will come mandatory and I have to pass email. Whatever the email I pass here team, that will taken as a username here. If not email, then we have other combinations team. First letter in the first name and last name. or else team person number. What is this person number team? In Fusion application, when we hiring an employee in the system, we will have a concept called person number. That is nothing but employee ID or employee number. In every organization, probably in the companies where you are currently working, you got allocated with the company ID, right? Worker number or employee number, something you have, employee ID. In Fusion application, that employee ID, we will call it as person number. So if I go with person number team, whenever hiring happening in the system, whenever the system creating the user account, whatever is the person number there for that employee, that will become the username to the user team. So do you want to maintain person ID of that employee as a username, or email first name dot last name, or first letter of the first name and the last name? These are only the available combinations in the application to choose. Let's say team, I'm changing it to email. Okay, and I will save and close. Now the username generation rule, I change it to email. Now what I will do, let's say I will refresh the screen, come to add user account. Okay, now see team, email came mandatory. Now what I will do for TrioTech, okay, some person name Satish, and here I am giving team Satish. Currently username came with first name dot last name, but see email I am passing Satish@triotech.com. Now see, the moment I pass the email ID of the employee and I go to next tab, that next attribute username, what it has taken up team? What it has taken up team? Username, email is taking up. That is what the concept of defining the username generation rule in the system. Now I change it, the username generation rule to email. Now the moment I pass the email, automatically email is taking up here team. So it's all about client requirement. What username they want for their application for all employees. You can choose accordingly here team. Let me put it back as of now, first name dot last name. And then team, we have something called generate system username when generation rule fails. What is this one? Generate system username generation rule fails. Usually when the generation rule will fail, this is the generation rule. Every employee in my organization, whoever hiring, their user account should be first name dot last name. Then what is this? When this rule will fail, for example, I will tell you team. Okay. I have an employee. Something called John Adam. Okay. So today on 28th April, one employee joining in the organization team. That employee's first name is John, and second name is Adam. Let's assume there is one employee joining in the organization. First name is John, second name is Adam. So what is the user account? User account will be created for this employee. First name dot last name, right? John dot Adam created. Okay, that is fair enough. As per the system, the combination taken. Now let's say in the month of June, let's say on 1st June, in future, I'm talking about team. There is one more employee joining the organization. That employee name is also same. That is quite common, right? Employee names will be quite common in real time also. There is one more employee. That person name is also, first name is John, second name is Adam. Now the question comes, what is the user account that you will give to him? In my system, the username rule is what? First name dot last name. But this combination already given to this employee. Now this is second employee who is joining with the same first name and last name. Now what system will do? The rule is failed. The username generation rule failed in this case. Correct? So this is the option team. If you are not checking box this one, generate system username when generation rule fails. If you are not checking box this one team, when this person hiring on 1st June, system can't create the user account for that employee. System leave blank. Only employee record will get created, user account will not define. But if you select this one, generate system username, means if at all that duplication is coming, the rule is failing, then system should create its own combination of user account. If you checkbox this one team, system will define its combination. Generate system username when generation rule fails. Now in my second employee case, the generation rule is failing. Already an employee with that combination is there. Now what system will do? If I configure like this team, the behavior of the system will be like this. I will show you practically now. So go to the user account team. Yesterday, I created one account team with the name of Kumar and TrioTech. First name is Kumar and last name is TrioTech. In this example, we will take Kumar TrioTech. Like how we have John Adam, we have taken as an example. Already Kumar TrioTech account is there in the system. Now one more account I am creating with same combination of first name and last name. What system will do? See now. See now. I'm going to add user account, then first name Kumar and second name TrioTech I am giving. Now see team, the moment I go to username, what combination system taking up here? What is the combination system taken up team? Kumar.a.TrioTech. It given me a combination like this. Kumar.a.TrioTech. Here already the user with this combination exists. But again, the second user also you are creating with same combination. So system generated the username with its combination like inserting alphabet A. Third person also coming with same first name, last name. Kumar.b.TrioTech. Kumar.c.TrioTech. Like that, system will insert some alphabet from A to Z, like that the sequence will go in case of duplications coming in the system team. So do you want this to be workable, like generating the system username when the generation rule fails? In the category level, this checkbox is mandatory team. Okay, that in that case, it will work accordingly like this. Then further what we can say here team, after the details section, we have something called team password policy. Come to password policy. Now edit it here. So you can able to configure, sorry. Yes, Prithvi, please.
Kumar, yeah, I have a small doubt. In the back screen where you have generated, where we have opted for automatic generation of the username, can we have that custom like it doesn't want a .a. Can I
by
just
default
like
in the SaaS license, you cannot have any customization done. If you want manually, you go and correct the username after the user account created.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Now team, now we are on the password policy. I edited and I landed upon password policy. So here currently in this application team, for this default category, password policy, if you observe team, days before password expiration, 90 days currently set up in the system. That is the reason yesterday when I created our user account, Kumar TrioTech, exactly 90 days, the password expiration date trigger. That is coming from here team. See, the password policy set up in the category level, days before password expiration. So client has to choose. Every 60 days, they want their employees to reset the password, every 90 days or every 120 days, or some clients will tell Kumar, I don't want to have my password expiries. Then give some bigger number like this. That many days, no employee will work in any organization. 10 more than how many years? 4 nines means you can have the count divided by 365. Okay, 15-20 years, whatever it is. So you can give that bigger number, or let's say 120 days your client is telling every 4 months once my password employee should reset. Then you can define whatever the days you want for your client team. That is the days before password expiration. Then we have something like team days before password expiry warning. I think yesterday someone was asking me before closing the session, Kumar, 90 days password expiry. So should we able to send a reminder to the employee stating that your password about to expire, kindly reset the link and reset the password? Yes, this is about that one. days before password warning. So how many days before you want to send the warning message? So I'm selecting 80 days. So from 80th day onwards, every day once the reminder emails will trigger from the system to the employee team stating that your password is about to expire on this date. Kindly reset the password, like that. That is days before password expiry warning. From how many days before onwards you want the notification of warning should be triggered to the employee? That is this one. And hours before also team. Now 90th day came, still employee not resetted the password. Let's suppose on a time, specific time it is, how the time will come. Today I'm creating a user account. At what time I'm creating? At 8:25 a.m. I'm defining. On 90th day, again that time at 8:25 a.m., whatever it is, the password will get expired to that employee team. So that employee's password is getting expired. Before how many hours? Before 4 hours, before 5 hours, you want to again send a notification. Hours before the password token is expiring, you can even send the notification from the system to the user. So you can set up here team days before, hours before the password expiration. How many days that password should expire? Every 3 months I have set it up now. And then team password complexity. If you could see here, when I'm defining a new user account, I could able to see there is something called password complexity coming up. See here, password at least 8 characters, 1 number. Not even here team. Any existing user, as a HR admin, I am going and I'm trying to reset the password manually also. I could able to see password policy coming up team. At least 8 characters and 1 number. That is coming from this category of default. Currently in this application team, password complexity set it up as simple. Simple means minimum 8 characters and minimum 1 number, numeric value. You have other options team, complex, very complex, custom. If you go with complex, then 8 characters minimum, 1 uppercase letter and 1 digit. Then very complex, 1 special character will add it. If you go with the custom, here you have the customization team, password complexity. As per your client requirement, you can choose how many uppercase you want, what minimum characters you want, what lowercase you want. Accordingly, you can choose team. So now I'm changing from simple to complex. Now I will save and close. Okay. Now you see team. Let me cancel it. Now again, I will come to reset password. Now check it out. Now it changed to complex. So these things will come from the user category level team. Now we have some more things to discuss here. What are these things? After password complexity team, disallow last password. What is that? If I checkbox this one team, every 90 days, employee have to reset the password. Correct. Whenever employee resetting the password, he cannot use the last password team. You might be facing this in your current organizations also. You have given some welcome 123 as password currently. 90 days came, password you have to reset. Again, you are resetting with your own old password. Welcome 123. System will not allow. Disallow last password. Every time you have to reset with the new password combination team. You cannot use your old passwords when you're resetting for the system account. That is about this functionality. Disallow last password. If you want to allow, then you can allow that team. Even old passwords you can use to reset. And then team, administrator can manually reset the password. What is this option team? Admin can manually reset the password. See team, as a HR admin now, when I come to the user account, searching the user account and coming to the action and resetting the password, I have the provision to manually reset the password. So my client is telling, Kumar, I don't want to give access any HR to manually change the user accounts in the system. Password to the user accounts. Then team, come to the user category in which you created that user default category. Administrator can manually reset the password, you uncheck and save and close. Now you see team, go back to the user. Now come to actions, then go to reset password. Now see team, manually change password got graded out. I cannot select that one. See, I'm not having the option to select. It got restricted to me. So when an admin come to security console, come to user account and trying to reset the password, the manually changing of password got disabled to me here. So that functionality, enablement and disablement will be from here team. Now, if I put it back, administrator can manually reset the password, save and close. Now come here. Now again, I will go to action. Then I will go to reset password. Now see team, manually change the password option I got now. It got enabled back. So this functionality restriction also can be handled from this user category team. And then you have something called notifications team. What is this notifications about? With respective to user management, we can trigger certain notifications to the employee team. First of all, whenever user account created in the system, the concerned employee will receive the welcome email from the system stating that your user account successfully created. Kindly click on the reset link to click on the link to reset the password. Or let's say team, when employee click on forgot password, forgot username, or resetting the password, updating the username, whatever it happens team, several notifications will be triggered to the concerned employee. Okay, concerned employee for the notifications team. So that all notification settings you can control from here. In which scenarios you want the notifications should be triggered, in which transactions you don't want them to trigger. Click on edit team, and then we have something called notification preferences here and notification templates. Come to the event name. By studying the event name, we can understand that particular notification is related to what transaction. This is for forgot username. Okay, and basically when you are working in real time, only whatever the events that you see starting with ORA, they are the standard Oracle delivered ones team. But these things, someone like you and me, when they're practicing, someone created them. Please ignore that one. But whatever that Oracle standard ones, you can see here. So this is about forgot username or a forgot username. So this is the one transaction which will happen when an employee click on forgot username. Like when they're logging in on the main first home screen, we have an option, right? Forgot username, forgot password, like that. When they click on that one, I told you we can give the email and we can click on submit. So that system will send the username link to that person email. So that transaction is forgot username. Then this is about new user created. Then this is about password expiry. So when password expired, employee will receive the email notification stating that your password expired. Then password expiry warning. We set up, right? Every 90 days password will expire. From 80th day onwards, the expiry warning should trigger. So that transaction is this one. Then let's suppose employee resetted the password, then password generated, then password reset confirmation. Or we have a couple of transactions that related to the user management will be their team. Do you want the notifications should be triggered whenever that particular things happen? You can enable and disable team. So let's say I'm coming to new user created team. Select this one. Okay. And click on this template. That is about the template of that transaction team. New user created, the event is. Click on that template. Click on that template. And here team, we have an option. See, currently in this system, it was disabled. Means what? Whenever a new user account created, a user will not receive any notification. Why? It got disabled team. If you enable it here, then whenever in the system, when hiring happening and the user account gets created, or in the backend, when we manually creating the user account, whatever the email we are passing to that user team, once the user account created, system will send the welcome email to that user stating that your application account successfully created, like that team. So do you want to enable and disable that particular notification will be controlled from here, enable, and how that email body should be there. So in which language you want that email, even you can customize your email template also, how you want that email to be. So one sample email I will try to show, but that is not in this laptop today. Just give me 1 second, team. I will try to get one login. Today my personal laptop is having some issues, so I have taken institute's laptop. Okay, I will show you one sample email, how it looks like when system triggered to the user team. Yeah. You can see here, it looks like this. Whenever a new user account got created, team, to the concerned email, that email will receive in this way. Subject line, Oracle Fusion Applications Welcome Email. Dear, your employee name, first name and last name. Congratulations, your applications account has been successfully created. Please follow the link below to reset your password. So the from address will be from the domain team. I mean, from this URL. This is the URL that will come. But this mail triggered from another URL, that is dev47, which we used for another batch. Okay, way back, that you can see, team. So even this body of the email or this subject line, you can able to customize, team. Here, see, message subject, in which language you want. So here you require certain Groovy scripting language, team. So it's not that hard, very simple. Oracle provides standard documents also for that one. For which attribute that you want to print here, what? See, dear, first name, last name. And then congratulations, your applications account has been successfully created. Then please follow the link below to reset your password. Anything. Welcome to the family and enjoy the employment in our organization, something like that. Anything that you want to customize your email template also, you can able to do from here, team. So some notifications will be enabled, some usually the companies will ask to disable, team. You can go through the event, what that particular notification is about, you can enable and disable from here, team. Entire notifications of user management, if you want to switch off. My client is telling, Kumar, I don't want any notification should trigger to the employees. In any case, simply we have one super option here, enable notifications. If you uncheck, team, all the notifications in the system with respective to the user accounts will get switched off. But you want to enable it. At the event level, you can go and you have the option to enable and disable by editing it. So what transactions you want the notification should trigger, and for what you don't want, you can able to customize that from the each event level, enable and disable, team. That is about notifications. And here, if you come to users team, in this application, how many user accounts created under this particular category of default, you can see all of the data here, team. So these many user accounts are defined in this instance under this category that you can check here. This is just for information, team. So this is about the concept of user category in the system. Now coming to the question. And some of you might have a question in the mind. What is that? Kumar, there is a category default already available in the system, you are telling. By default, Oracle will give with this form. And that is what showing to us whenever we creating the new user account. So do we have a provision to create the custom user category? Do we have a provision to create that? We have that. See, we have a create option there. But when you will define user categories of custom, let's say, team, I have a requirement like this. What is that? I told you, right? Two types of users are there. One is employees, the client side people, the end users, and one more is implementation users, right? Now let's say, team, my client is telling in this way, Kumar, we have two people, two sets of people, let's say, implementation users, okay, and then my employees, regularly whoever hiring in my organization, my employees. So coming to the rules for their user accounts. For all my employees, okay, the username generation rule should be email IDs. For all the implementation users who are not my employees, but just user accounts are creating for them to get the access. For them, the username generation should be first name dot last name. Okay. Then coming to the password expiry. Every 90 days, the password expiry should happen here. Every 90 days, the password expiry should happen. Okay. But here, no expiry. For these people, I don't want the password to get expired. And here, complexity of the password should be very complex. Very complex. And here it should be simple. And here, admin cannot manually reset the password. Admin reset password, no. But here, admin can manually reset the password. Okay. Here, I want notifications should be triggering in all the transactions of user account. Yes. But here, I don't want notifications. See team, if client comes up in this way, two sets of requirement team, what you will do? Two sets of requirement client is telling. For their employees, they want their username generation rule, password policies like this. For the implementation users, they are telling in this way, not even like in this way team. In the employees also, let's say your client is having two companies. For one company, the employees user accounts are expecting in this format. For another company, they're expecting in this format. Whatever it might be, you can define multiple categories in the system, user categories. Click on create, then edit, then give the name. So I will define with, as of now, we will restrict to this requirement team. For implementation team, one more requirement you have. Then create the name like this. For my understanding purpose, naming convention, I'm going with implementation category. Don't give space when you're creating the category name, it won't take. Implementation category. This is not required. And here team, username generation rule. What you want, my requirement is first name dot last name. Then generate system username. I want this also enabled. And then team, I will go with password policy next. After this one, password policy. Once the category defines, it will land up to password policy. Next, password policy. So I don't want expiry, right? So I will give some very bigger number, something like this. Then if this is that bigger, we won't reach anyhow to these things. Password complexity is what team? I want simple. So password policy is simple. Then disallow last password, I don't want. Administrator can manually reset the password, I want yes. This one also I want yes. Then what else? Notifications, I don't want. So what I will do? Notifications, I will come, click on edit, and I will uncheck this one. Entire notifications will get switched off in this category. Click on save. Okay. Now go to users. As of now, no user is there because it is a first fresh category we're defining team. Click on done. Now see, one more category you define. Now, when you go to user creation screen, you can able to see one more category here team now. Implementation category, and you can define. So how system will know? I have two categories defined. How system will know employee should fall under this category and not in this one? Manually creating means, okay, HR will choose whatever the category he want, he can define. But how system will know? See, this is very important from the point of interviews also team. Interviewer will ask you, in the concept of user category, how system knows that employee should be coming under category of default or whatever the custom you define. By default in the system, all employees user accounts when system creating in the automatic way. Okay. for all the employee accounts, when system creating automatically theme, the user accounts will be created under default category. That is thumb rule. So whatever that you want to maintain for your employees team, that you maintain in your default category. Okay. Whatever the rules that you have for your employees in the system, you maintain in the default category. By default in the application, whenever you hiring the employees team in the front end, when system auto creating the user account, employee will be created in this default category. So for all the employees in the system, whatever the rules you want, you create it under this category. On top of that, if you want to create a custom category, you define, and all other users, something like your implementation team accounts or even team in real time, a part of implementation users, you might also have to create just user accounts in the system. Means business also requires some user accounts to schedule certain processes or to have certain transactions to perform in the system. Just the user accounts, they might, in that case also team, you define under another category. But all employees in the system, when application creating the user accounts for them, they will get created in this default category. See, that's why default category, I don't have a cross icon. I cannot delete that one. But whatever the custom categories we define in team, we have the provision to delete that one. They are optional, but this is system generated one. We cannot delete that. So for all the employee related user accounts, you maintain them in this default category team. What is your client business rules? Username generation is what, password policies are what, everything you maintain here. For our users, you can, if you want, or if you have a differentiated requirement, then you can create your own category and you start creating the users from this new category here team going forward. Even now the existing employee or the existing user which I created yesterday, I can change his category team. I can edit and I can change his category now. I am moving Mr. Kumar TrioTech from default to this implementation category. See now, I even can do like this. So this is about the concept of user category in the system team. If you want to maintain any username generation rules, password rules, everything, it will be maintained in the concept called user category. Okay. So this is about the concept of user account management in the system team. Now within this, I want to talk about one more concept. There is something called manage users team. What that task will be doing. Yes, please.
Yeah, can you go back to the implementation user screen?
Okay.
Okay, what are the options that we are seeing on the left side panel? Okay, are they standard or can we add or delete those?
Nothing. These are standard features. Within that, we can able to capture the information. What rules we want to
if you want to add anything specific, can we?
What do you want to add in this? I mean, the kind of requirement. Anything means what? Any specific requirement you have?
In general,
because these are standard functionalities, right?
Okay.
So nothing we can add here, but within this we can add whatever the settings we want to set up. These are what functionalities in the system. I mean, anything you have specific, then I can tell you whether it is possible or not.
For example, if a user is asked to for a limited access, okay, not to view all the sites within the organization.
That comes from the roles. Actually, we have a concept called roles, right? Here only we are talking from the point of user generation rules. In the concept of roles, we have the provision to restrict that from the point of access, data restriction, everything.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Yeah.
Kumar, I have one question.
Yes, Chandan, please.
Yeah. Say we have 10 employees or 15 employees under implementation category. Okay. And what happens if we delete this category? Would they come back to the default? In case under this category, we have 10 employees. And if we delete this custom category itself.
See, what is the warning it is coming up? You can't delete a user category that the user assigned. Until and unless if there is no user assigned, you can able to delete it. But once the user created in the system, it won't allow you to delete. If you want to delete it, first create the user accounts what you created and delete this one. Yeah. Right, team. Team, we'll take the questions at end of the session because there is some topic which is left out. Just please mark your questions. I will take up at end of the session. Okay. Right, team. So user categories, it is about what we have seen now. Next, team, after the user categories or however the user accounts we defined, we have seen how to create the user accounts manually, team. And system creation also I told you, like when we hiring the employee. Now, team, we have one more task available, something called manage users, which is also related to the user accounts only. Where you can find means you come to the home screen and go to this particular settings and action. And then we have something called administration. And we have an option available called setup and maintenance. So going forward, team, from tomorrow onwards, from the next session onwards, every setup, you start core HR, you start absence or payroll. We are going across this particular task, team. This is our functional setup manager, the setup task which will give access to all the setup tasks in all the module, team. So come to setup and maintenance, and then we have a search area available here. You search with a task name called team. If you come to the right side taskbar here, there is something called users, search. And here you have something called team manage user. An admin can also access the user accounts from this task also, team. By coming to manage user here, he can able to come to manage users and they can able to search the records here, team. So any employee that you want to search, you can search here. Click on some employee name, John, I'm searching, see, team. Even I can able to access the users in the system in this way also, team. I can search with the employee name here like this. Or if you want to, create a new user, you can even create from here also. Like how we defined from our security console, even you can define the user here also, team. Or for any existing user, if you want to do any kinds of updations, adjustments, you can do. Let's say I searched with the name called John. I got resulted with some employee record because it's a demo instance, already employees data available, team, for certain countries that I'm using. See, if I go to a user, let's say I'm clicking on that user. Okay, I'm clicking on that user. As a HR admin, I can see the employee details, team, like personal details, like employee first name, last name, his email ID, when he got hired, and his user details, like what is his current email in this, username, user account that user is having in the system, John Adams. If you want, you can find from here also. Security console, user, and see if I search with John.Adams. I can even get from here. See, John Adam record is here. If I go, either I can search here and I can able to do whatever the corrections I want, I can do for this employee. Or else I even come to manage user, team, and I can able to do whatever that updations I want. Here I can see the employment information details, like in which company employee working, business unit, job, grade, department. Then what are the roles currently that employee have in the system? Okay. Current roles, if I expand, see. So whatever the roles you have currently, these are the roles he is having currently, team. That role information also you can see here. Anything you want to delete or anyone you want to add, that even as a HR admin, you can do from this task also, team. Here, why I came to this task is, we have a provision to update the username. If you want to change any username details of the employee, you can change. Or team, there is something called a link user account. What is this one? Actually, for this point only, I came to this screen. What is this link user account? See, team, first of all, I defined user account here in my security console, team. Something, just a user account I defined, that is Kumar.TrioTech. Okay, I created Kumar.TrioTech user account. This account is not linked to any employee in the system. right? Now I want to link this account to any employee record. I can even do that also, team. First, you can create a just user account with the worker type as none. And later on, you can link this account to the employee. How you can link this account to the employee, team? Come to manage user, search the employee for whom you want to link that account. Okay, link user account, you search, you select that one, then click on this particular option and search with your name, kumar.triotech, whatever is the account that you define. See, click on OK. Now see, team, Adams John account will replace from this one to this kumar.triotech. Now see, if I save and close, if I click on save and close, especially when we will use this functionality is in the case where employee hired in the system, but user account not created. So you can able to create the user account here and you can link the user to that employee team. Now I added, right? Now I will come back and now see team, the same Kumar account I will come. I'm searching with Kumar. Now see the name coming with you already, John Adam, and username is kumar.triotech. Now if I get into this, the account is linked to the employee John Adams. See, this is the username kumar.triotech, our user account. Tagged to whom? John Adams. Person number is this one, job, business unit and department. So through this respective task of manage user team, you can link the account to the employee. For an existing employee, if you want to link the account, you can able to do, or else if your employee not got created in the system with any user account, just you hired the employee, but system due to some data discrepancy not created the user account, just use employee record created. Then also you can come to manage user, search the user, and then you can link your account to that user team. First, you can go to security console, create the user account, and you can link that one. Or else team, this manage user task will be helpful to the financials and supply chain people. In HRMS area or in HCM area, we will hire the employees in the system. So whenever we hiring them as a worker, automatically system usually will create user account team. But in supply chain or in financial modules or the products team, they might create the users for several transactions purpose team. Means they don't require salary information, payroll information, compensation, subordinates info. These all things are not required. Just basic information they want to give and they want to have that employee created team. So even you can create the new user or new employee from here team. Click on plus icon and you can even define the new employee record here. See, create user. You can create user like this. Let's say I'm giving something like a TrioTech, something the person name is Ram. So I'm giving Ram @triotech.com. So from when you want to hire, the hire date, phone, and all these things. Then username, you can give triotech.ram. Okay. And then user notification. When you're creating the user, do you want to send that username and password to his email? You can set that one. Then what type of person he is, you can select whether he is apprentice, contingent worker, or employee. And then team, the basic information about him, like in which company he is hiring, in which business unit, job, grade, department. And you can add the roles and even you can create the user directly from here team. So this is not a preferable thing from the point of HCM. We will not use this much, but financials and supply chain product related people, if they want to have a users for certain transactions to perform in certain areas, they can even directly create the user from here team. So this manage users is something which we will use in order to link the user accounts to the existing employee record or any kind of updations with respective to employee user account. If you want to do, you can able to do that one. Okay. So by this, I can conclude the topic of user account management in the system team. So by this point of time, yesterday and today's session, how the concept of user creation is working in the system, we understood. How we can create the user account, and how we can assign the roles to the user account, how the access provisioning to the employees or the users with the roles that we are tagging to them. We understood, team. Coming to the role management, this is not the right time to discuss in detail about the rules. Why? Because, team, as of now, you are not familiar with the application screens. Means core HR means what? What tasks are there in core HR module? What screens or functionalities we have in core HR module? Or absence module, what are the setup tasks we have? What access we will have in absence module? As of now, you are not familiar with anything. You are at very beginning stage in the introduction things only. Role management will be explained to you once we complete our functional modules, team, so that you will get a understanding about the application in and out. In each module, what we are doing, what screens are there, what functionalities are there. Once you people become familiar to all of them, I will take the session detailedly on the role management. Yesterday I was telling you, right? There will be data restrictions which we are going to provide to our employees with the roles, or even functionality restrictions also we can give. Let's say, team, when an employee log into the system, okay, there is something called my client groups, team. This is my user login, HCM_IMPL. So I told you, in order to get access to core HR, absence, and talent, we require these rules. Now, team, my user assigned with that roles, so I'm getting access to that module related thing, my client group. So let's say I'm going to new person. So when I go to new person, team, I'm getting all these functionalities here. Hire an employee, add a contingent worker, add a pending worker, add a non-worker, like that. My client is telling, Kumar, whenever the user login into the system, having the role assigned with this human resource manager, by default, these all access will come. But I don't want add pending worker and add non-worker to coming to them. Only hire an employee, contingent worker, pending, new person dashboard. Only these 4 functionalities only should be shown to that user. These 2 functionalities should be restricted. It should not show to them. Even functionality restrictions also we can achieve in the system. Yesterday I told you the data restriction, which employees data a user can access. Similarly, within the roles team, you can achieve the functionality level restrictions also, like what screens that user can access with that role, what functionalities should be restricted. That all we have to talk deep dively, like types of roles, everything in the concept of role session, team. During this time only, I will also explain you the concept of role provisioning, like how the user accounts for the employees automatically generating for with respective to roles also, team. When the user account created automatically, the respective roles also should auto trigger to the employee. So there is a concept called auto provisioning of roles, team, that I will explain you in detail when we reach out to the concept of roles. So by this, we conclude our security administration with the topic of user management, team. So if we give access to the application, or in the real time, once client given the access to our team, are we able to create the user accounts for our all team members? Yes. How to do that we have seen, right? So this is about user account management, team. Before taking up the questions for today, let me want to share one important thing, team. What is that is, let me stop the recording.